Biniam Girmay, take a bow. This Tour de France was already yours, and now a hat-trick. The first rider to double up on stage wins, Robbie, now the first to make it three. That was a sensational finish once again, wasn't it?
Binny, Winnie, Winnie, Winnie.
Oh, don't.
Three stage wins. They're just phenomenal. And so disorganised, this sprint. And extra bonus for Vinny, his team hardly did a metre on the front all day. That was the plan, but then he's popped up and won out of this lead-out that was just sort of all over the place until Demar's team really took over when it opened up. And then Biniam Girmay, he's just popped out of the middle and said, why not? I'll have a third one.
His legs are doing the talking, aren't they? You know, the intent was clear from the start of today, here in the interview from the director sportif. Also, the way they executed that intermediate sprint, where he took maximal points behind the breakaway, of course.
That was
they
impressive.
had three men there ahead of Binny, and, you know, they're just taking confidence stage after stage. To take 3 stage wins in a Tour de France is outstanding.
And all quite different as well, Adam. This was quite a messy, scrappy run into the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's his benefit now. Won a couple of stages, so he's got a bit more room, he's got a bit more space. People are looking for him more. If he didn't win anything, he'd be getting barged around like everyone else is. But because he is in that jersey, he's getting that little bit more space to move around. And he is putting himself in that space. He is gaining a lot of confidence from his sprints, and rightly so, because he's rapid at the minute. But yeah, thoroughly deserved. And I mean, in a messy sprint like that, we saw that there's not one real lead out. It was Arkea that only had the real lead out there for Demar, with Dan McLay leading him out. So hats off to them. But always in those sprints, we've always said it comes down to the last 400 metres where everyone's on their own, and Biniam seems to be putting himself in that correct place each and every time, which is hugely impressive to do it on your own. It's incredible.
And it's that confidence as well that comes every time, Robbie. And we saw Vuelta before the stage today, the sports director, who himself looked like he'd grown 2 feet taller. The entire team is riding on this wave of momentum and confidence, and Binny can feel that, and he's delivering on that.
He's certainly riding on confidence. You can see it. Today's win was actually a little bit reminiscent of the win in Torino, where he just rode the slipstream, found a gap, and was just able to hit it, go through it and overtake everybody. He just seems to be in that sort of form where the gap's open at the right time, and he's got the legs to take advantage of it. When you're just not quite going as well, you might see a gap open. You just can't get to it on time before it shuts. He just goes straight through it and overpowers everybody. It is, what a tour for them. I was just unbelievable.
I'm sure they can barely believe it. I'm sure they're still pinching themselves, but they will be believing it now, Danny, because they've done it not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. And we see how difficult it is for any sprinter, for any rider, to win one stage of the Tour de France. Binny is the only one who's doubled up, and now to triple up. It just goes to show how difficult it is, how classy he is, and just how, as I say, how confident he's becoming in it.
And let's not forget how hard this tour's been as well. We've almost had 12 one-day races here, so it's not just, you know, the strength at the end of a sprint day. It's the capacity to be able to deal with this fatigue throughout the tour and still deliver. And he did come from quite far back. Riders went before him. They weren't all just fighting for his will. He had to come out, find the space, and he had the legs. So it's remarkable. And they've got a huge amount of momentum now. Clearly the belief, you can feel that from the whole of the team. When you've got a rider that can deliver like that, everyone steps up.
I'll tell you what's funny, this morning we're having a chat about Girmay, if he should ride or not. This will be the turning point. They'll start riding for every sprint point they can get now, and rightly so. You know, we thought Philipsen, he's not lost anything, he's just missing Van der Poel today. He relies on him heavily for that lead out. Didn't have him there because of that crash, but I think even if he was there today, contesting right alongside Binny, I still think that Wanty would probably say, you know what, we've got this, we're going to take it upon ourselves now. And it wouldn't surprise me if Alpecin said, you crack on.
Yeah.